I'm Penny Lane. Super excited. My cheeks are actually starting to hurt from smiling so much. With me from Helping Hands for Freedom, Route for the Brave, I have Mr. Darin Fishburn, the official CEO. How are you?
I'm doing great, Penny, and I think your cheeks are smiling because all the good you do in the community, and you got a mirror in front of your desk. That'd make me happy
too. Oh my gosh, I do not have a mirror. No, I hate looking in the mirror, actually. So you just did a great show with Jason.
Yes, had a great podcast and did a plea to America to tell us what freedom means to them, and we're going to launch Operation House of Healing, hashtag House of Healing. If you get a chance to tweet, and we got some large donors that's willing to give money if we grow our social media, because that's not my thing. I like to go face to face and do that, direct impact stuff, and the day of age of all that from a standpoint of marketing's gone, and they want to see your impact, and they want to see that people support you. And so if your listeners and anybody likes us on Facebook, shares it on Facebook, Twitter, any of the social media platforms, then we will get paid in the back end without your listeners having to give a single penny, just their time.
Now, of course, I know what Helping Hands for Freedom is. You do, Route for the Brave. And I think sometimes, we don't realize some people out there listening might not know. So could you explain to our listeners what Helping Hands for Freedom is all about?
For the two people that have not heard me beg and plead, Helping Hands for Freedom was started by Rodney Smith and Staff Sergeant Patrick Shannon. Patrick lives right up the street, right here from the station. He lives at the Fairland exit, and it was started as a mentorship program and a program to help our fallen military families. When Staff Sergeant Shannon was at Walter E. Reed recovering from his second Purple Heart, he was going bedside on behalf of another foundation and trying to find out what their needs were. And bed after bed, every soldier said the same thing. It didn't matter what floor he was on. It didn't matter if it was critical care or the guys that had been there a year and recovering. They said, "Sarge, I don't care about us. It'd be an honor to die for our country. We signed up for it. It's an honor. If we lose another limb, it is what it is. We signed up for it." Their only concern was their spouse, their children, and he thought if that was your only concern, one guy was in Walter Reed for 3.5 years, had 17 surgeries, and he thought if that was their only concern was their spouse and children back home, I want to do something about it. And so bed after bed, they told him their story, and he got with Rod Smith, and they founded Helping Hands for Freedom in 2006, and in 2008 we become legal and licensed with a 501c3 number and could then go out to the community to help. And as you know, last November, during Veterans Month, the Veterans Association that rates veterans charities and that looks at veterans charities for grassroots and direct marketing had their annual Patriots Ball. And the highest award you can win in our field is the Lincoln Award. And it's President Lincoln's famous quote that I will summarize. It's not exact, but it's basically, if any man or woman's brave enough to bear battle and dies doing so, there should never be a widow, widower, or orphan left behind. And that is our mission. At the end of the day, we take care of our Gold Star families that don't make it home. And we do emergency expenses. We do Dream Chaser, which is that final promise that Dad or Mom made before they went off to war. They don't come home to honor that, and they don't come home alive. And so who fulfills that last thing so that there's no animosity, or a kid doesn't look at it as a victim role, and it changes them from, wow, I was born into a family of heroes, and my dad or mom was willing to die for someone they didn't even know because the cause was bigger than their own life. And it just changes them from that victim role to opening their minds and hearts up to this amazing opportunity that my heroes don't have to be a basketball player, don't have to be Superman or Batman. It can be my dad, my mom. That's a hero to me. And once they realize that, then the whole mission, then comes full circle, and why we started and why we were founded knows that it was completed.
And what can the listeners do? You were talking about social media. They can share it online, put the word out to their friends. Tell me again, where should they go as the platform to get to you, as far as, Facebook, Twitter, those type of things?
Well, as you know, April 28th, we're walking across America. We've tried to get the awareness out. We have police officers, soldiers, myself, a school teacher from Beech Grove. There's that's taken 5 months off work, right, and traveling the country. US 40 on foot, guys, not on car. I got tired driving here, and it took 3 days. And
Did you drove, huh?
And the last time I came in, if you remember, I brought the logoed car for the walk and the test walk, and it's a journey. And they're going to do 30 miles a day every day on foot with their own two legs. And we got some amazing schools and people that's adopting us along the route, and we're going to be able to go and visit. And so if you can't do that, and he's like, I would love to, but I can't get off work. All right, love to give you $1,000, but I don't have it.
Right.
Then just go into your social media, go in and like us on Facebook, and go to routeforthebrave.org. Route for the Brave, and for is spelled out FOR. Routeforthebrave.org, and like us and share it, and then challenge your friends to share it. Chris Carroll is on our Route for the Brave committee.
Okay.
And he was driving down the road the other day, and he was looking for a place that was donating. He was trying to find the place, and he comes up to the light, and there's a guy in the corner with a sign. And on this little 6-inch by 12-inch sign, it said his story in 6 words. Why he needed money. Will you help? Help me. Homeless, help me. Work for food. This particular sign grabbed him. He handed the guy, $1, and he was like, as he pulled away to go to his appointment to get a donation for Route for the Brave, he's like, I don't even know this guy. I don't even know his story. I mean, his story was on a piece of cardboard, 6 inches by 12 inches, and it had 6 words on it. And on those 6 words, I was willing to donate, and I don't even know the man's story. I don't even really know where it's going or who it is. But I had a call to action. And he goes, it made him think, what about all your listeners? What about all of America? If we hold up a sign and say what freedom means to us, or what happiness means to us, or being able to go to the ball game, or being able to do more than just Memorial Day and Veterans Day to thank a vet or a family that didn't make it home, that paid the supreme sacrifice, the ultimate sacrifice. They gave their life for us, for people they don't even know that they will never even met. To be able to do that, he thought of this ingenious thing that, if it goes viral, we would only need $1 per person. Anybody that goes to the routeforthebrave.org and gives $1, their name will go on the wallpaper to go through the tunnel. So when these families enter the house of healing that we're going to build from the Walk Across America funds, when they enter, they will see thousands, hopefully, thousands and thousands of names that not only gave $1, but gave their time to go on to the social media platforms and go on our website and donate, so that when these families enter this house as torn and sorrowful and broken, that when they see all these names on the wallpaper and they walk through the tunnel, they're going to feel the love, and they're going to feel like their loved one didn't die in vain, and that people do care still, and that this journey is not alone. And so when they enter the home, they go from that victim role to, wow, I loved a hero. What an honor. And so that's where they start to rebuild their shattered lives. And that's what we want with the $1. If it's $5 to $10, you can upload your picture, and your picture will be on a mural. I don't know if you've ever seen the murals where there's 1,000,000 pixels and it comes down to a picture of a gold star or whatever we want it to be. But individualized, if you zoom in, it's your actual face.
That's awesome.
And so you can upload your picture. So on the mural, when they enter the House of Healing, they can see that there's 100,000 pairs of arms and hands ready to hug them and embrace them, that they took time to do this. They took time to upload a photo. They took time to matter. They took time to say, you're not in this journey alone. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm here for you. If that happens, then the retreat home happens, which is the House of Healing, and the PTSD Center happens, which is horse and dog therapy, alternative medicine, and counseling. To shorten that, PTSD Center will shorten the life of coming home after you're on U.S. soil from 5 years to 18 months with the horse therapy and dog therapy. Get these soldiers home mentally. Get these soldiers back. Don't make them continue to relive their battle day in and day out.
We're going to take a short break, come back with Darin Fishburn, Helping Hands for Freedom, and talk about the upcoming gala. It's next weekend.
Yes, can't wait.
Returning to an interview with Helping Hands for Freedom, Route for the Brave, Mr. Darin Fishburn. So now, how's Mr. David Roth doing? Is he ready to walk across the United States?
He would leave tomorrow if he could. Sorry to shout you out. Dave's ready to go. He's He's been training for 2.5 years. He's lost 68 pounds, and he's ready to go now. But the official date is April 28th.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
It's ticking. I mean, I remember when it seemed so far away, and it's almost here.
It's funny talking to you on the radio, a few years ago, and we're talking about it. It did seem so far in the distance, and it's here now, and it's like now I'm panicked. I don't have enough time, and what are we going to do? And but it is what it is. It's here. We've gotten amazing local support. As you know, Dell and Otto gave us the minivan for the official media vehicle of the Walk Across America, so that we could shoot the documentary and do the live podcast back with you and some other things. And so that's really cool. Also, anybody that adopts a soldier for $22 at routeforthebrave.org, their name will be captured. And at the end of the walk, just by you helping, you may get called with the title to a van that may have 10 or 20,000 miles on it, but it's a free vehicle. Sell it, give it away, do something good with it, and know that you would have gave the $22 anyway for the soldiers.
Why is it $22?
The reason it's $22, and everybody asks why it's an odd amount, is very simple. We're losing 22 soldiers every single day on U.S. soil due to suicide from PTSD. And Save the 22 is to make you aware of that and how hard it is to come home. Penny, when most people see the soldier in the airport coming home and they got their fatigues on and they start clapping, it's like, oh, great. That's when I actually start worrying, because I know that's when the real battle begins. The next 5 years is what it takes on average to get home mentally if you saw combat. And so that's when I get worried. That's why the PTSD Center and the Walk Across America is so important, is so we can shorten that time to 18 months. A lot of the suicides are in that 3 to 4 year period. And by shortening that time from 5 years to 18 months, then they're healed and they come home before that even enters their mind. And that's the key to this, is that we get them before it crosses their mind.
And it's hard for a civilian who hasn't been in the military to really understand, what these soldiers are going through mentally. And then coming home and that readjustment period, it's not like people can just snap their fingers and come back to life the way that it was before.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, their DNA, when they're overseas, you literally walk by a soldier, you know everything about them, what war they fought on by their patch, and what their name is, what their rank is. Their other shoulder has, their all their info, so, they walk around basically with their DNA exposed, exactly who they are, exactly what rank they are, and exactly where they fought and what they've done. And when you come home and you're in the grocery store line, or you're out buying a car, or you're at the gas station, who are these people? They don't have an identity. They don't know how to transition. They don't understand. And so that's why it's important for us to get them home, so they realize that, our neighbors need to know that there are the school teachers, the high school coach, the neighbor, Mrs. Johnson's son, and so we were talking yesterday to a soldier's dad, and he said him and his wife every day prayed for their son's safe return and had the yellow ribbons out and had always worried about that knock on the door or that phone call. And he said shock on a phone call one time, and they, of course, misheard it and thought they said shot. And he was saying, during that time when my son was over there in Afghanistan, I freaked out every day. I prayed every day. I worried every day. And then the national anthem meant more, and seeing a soldier meant more. And then he said when he came home, it was nice. And I said, it shouldn't be. I said, because it should still mean the same. Because even though your Matthew got home today, someone else's Matthew just got deployed to take his spot. And so it should always mean something to us, because freedom isn't free. And our phone rings every day at the high cost of freedom and the ultimate sacrifices of these families, or the double amputees, a triple amputee. I mean, it's just incredible. And it's funny. Everybody's worried about the amputee. The amputee's worried about the family that didn't make it home. The family that didn't make it home is wondering if their loved one died in vain, and was it a lost cause, or what was it for? And so that's why Operation House of Healing is so important, because with your picture, with your name in the hallway, in the center, that's why when these families see this upon entering, they know immediately there's 100,000, set of arms and hands, like I said, that want to embrace them and that want to take the journey with them and that they're not alone. And that's where the rebuilding process happens. And if we can help you rebuild your shattered life, what other purpose do you need in this world? They've already paid the supreme sacrifice.
And David Roth will be walking across the United States, raising funds and awareness for the House of Healing, the PTSD Center. Now, some simple things that listeners can do. One is to make the $22 donation.
Mm-hmm. We call it Adopt a Soldier. So you have skin in the game. Adopt one time this whole year, not every day, not every month, one time.
And, another possibility is the dollar.
The dollar to put your name on the wall for the wallpaper. You can do the $5 to $10 donation. We'll let you upload your picture, and your picture will be made into a pixel so that it creates a huge gold star for these families to know you love them and that they're not walking alone.
So there's just little things that everybody can do, even to go to Route for the Brave, Helping Hands for Freedom, and share the information online like Facebook and different social medias.
Yes, absolutely. And not only share it and like it, but challenge your 5 best friends, challenge your siblings, challenge your boss, your coworkers, 5 or 10 people to donate $1 or $5. This is one time. We're not asking for every month, every day. I mean, think about this. You would give it to the guy, like our guy did, on the corner, not knowing the story. You know these family stories. Give it one time to us. Make a difference. Share it, like it, and challenge your 5 or 10 best friends, coworkers, bosses. Do the Blue Jean Day and say, give 2 months of the 12, just 2, for the month of May for Memorial Day for the fallen, our Gold Star families, and the month of November for all veterans, whether they are serving or wounded or have come home and need to now get home. But give that a little bit of time and energy. Give that like, get that Facebook. We get some matching funds in the back end. Even if you don't have money, still like it and share it without a single dollar from you. You just doing that will allow us to grow, because as we get more likes and shares on social media, the donors for everyone we get will grow their sizable donation. And because they said if you're willing to support them, meaning us, they're willing to give to us.
And the Heroes Tribute Variety Show, that's coming up.
Friday the 11th, right around the corner at Indiana Grand Racing and Casino. They are rolling out the red carpet for you, the listeners. Yours truly, will be the MC. So you're in for a good, funny time, at least in my mind. We have 5 heavyweight champs of the world: Layman Brewster, Indy Zone, Riddick Bowe, James Toney, Chris Bird, and a U.S. Army, fought for the U.S. Army in the gold medal Olympic team, Ray Mercer. They are all coming in to sign autographs, have a meet and greet, and then afterwards you have 2 comedians, Keith Bender and Andrew Frank, and then after that, a band called Exile, famous for their song in the 70s and 80s, I Want to Kiss You All Over and Over Again.
How's that go? How's that song go?
I want to kiss you all over and over again. So anyway, they're going to come and play a benefit concert, and we the casino says anybody that's willing to donate the $25 for your ticket,
all right,
and you're 21 and older. Now, all ages can come. They just got to come in through the horse track. So it is family show.
Okay.
But anyone that's 21 and older gets $10 download cash certificate to go play.
Okay.
You may win a bunch of money, like that lady last year. She took it down there and won $4,800.
Wow.
You never know if you're the next lucky one. Sometimes you got to live life lucky, right? That's
right.
the theme. And then you also get 2 drink tickets, good for soda or alcohol. So those 2 things alone, plus free snacks. So basically, for your $25 donation, Indiana Grand Racing Casino, if you're willing to support the troops, they're willing to give you 100% of your ticket money back just for coming and supporting us. And so you can come for free, get 2 comedians, 5 heavyweight champs of the world, and Exiles concert, all for $25 per person.
Wonderful. Sounds like a fun time for a great cause.
Yes, can't wait.
Thanks for coming in.
It's an honor always to be with your Giant listeners, and Giant 96 has been a friend of ours for years, and we can't thank you enough for being our partner.
Well, we're glad to do it. And tell our listeners again where we can find you online.
Route for the Brave. That's Route, F-O-R, thebrave.org. Routeforthebrave.org, or download our free app at HHFF on both Android and iOS.